Hi, guys. My name is Natalia Porsche, and I am an attorney in Biloxi, Mississippi. Our law firm practice immigration law, criminal defense law, and family law. So short video, will be about Mississippi law. It will be about temporary hearing in a contested divorce proceedings in Mississippi. Well, first of all, I would like to start with a disclaimer. I hope everyone can hear me. Yes, and by the way, I didn't start at 6, so I decided to start a little earlier because I have things to do. I'm a busy lawyer, so therefore, here I am. This will be recorded and available for viewing on my YouTube channel as well as on YouTube as well as on Facebook. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's start. So this video will be about family law in Mississippi, about divorce, and specifically about contested divorce. Again, I'm going to do a waiver here, and the waiver will be that all information here is only for your guidance, for your informational use. It's not for specific cases. It's not for you, or it's for you, but it's not for your specific case. So it's kind of will give you guidance of what to expect during a temporary hearing in divorce in Mississippi. Specifically, when you go through contested divorce and you might not have a lawyer, it's very complex to navigate through these deep waters, deep legal waters, and you just don't know what to expect from the judge. You don't know about how this specific judge does these temporary hearings, and it's just confusing. So this information will be helpful for pro se litigants. And okay, well, let's start. So our first slide, let's see. Okay, so it's a Mississippi divorce proceeding temporary hearing. Um, let's go to a next slide. Okay, so here's we have a disclaimer. Okay, so what to expect in a contested divorce in Mississippi during a temporary hearing? Okay, well, first of all, it's very important to mention that jurisdiction over family matters in Mississippi is in chancery court. So the chancellor is the judge who is in chancery court, and so jurisdiction over family matters is in chancery court in Mississippi. So a few things before we begin. You probably wonder, what you should wear to court, how to behave yourself. What it's very important to say is that, first of all, come to court well groomed. Okay, don't wear shorts, don't wear slippers. It's not a Walmart, it's a court. So be respectful to judges and be respectful to other attorneys. And a lot of times, I know, guys, your emotions running high, and you just want to get your case out there. However, we have rules, certain rules in Mississippi, and we have regulations, and we have a court, manner in which you have to behave yourself and be respectful to court staff. Okay, make sure you have your evidence ready, your documents ready to go, because you literally will have a very short amount of time during your temporary hearing in Mississippi during your divorce, because it's just a temporary hearing. It's not a major hearing, right? It's not a final hearing. It's just to get you somewhere before judge adjudicates your divorce on merits. Okay, so it's just a temporary. That's why we don't have a full-blown divorce hearing. Okay, very important. Do not interrupt a judge. Do not interrupt a chancellor. When the chancellor, specifically the chancellor, makes his or her ruling, do not interrupt him or her, because it is obvious that the judge already made its own decision, right? His own or her own decision on your case, and that's how it's going to stand. And it's very unlikely that he or she will change change their minds, right? They do not. You'll have to file a motion. They will have to rule on your motion on the record, and therefore likely it will stand. But again, depends on your case. Okay, like I said, have your evidence and documents ready to go. Be organized. Don't come to court and you don't know where your, pleadings are. You don't know where your forms are. You don't have your pay stubs. It's a mess. So therefore, the judge, it will be very difficult for someone to determine your income when you don't have your pay stub or last year tax returns. And we're going to talk about this later on. Okay, so like I said, have your 805 ready to go. 805, it's a form. It's called financial disclosure, and it's a form. You have to be very careful. I can tell you this when you're filling this form out, because judges will look at the numbers and they will go by the numbers which you have on 805. If you have untruthful statements in 805, which is not supported by your pay stubs or by your tax returns, last year tax return, then you can get in trouble with the judge. Okay, and like I said, let's move to the next slide. Things to keep in mind. Every county and every judge in Mississippi, they do things differently, okay? You might go, for example, we have Jackson County where I practice also family law as well as a criminal law. And we have a Harrison County, for example. We have a Pearl River County. We have a Hancock County. So we have different judges like different things. They like to do their hearings the way they do them, the way they've been doing it for years. So therefore, it's you have to know your judge. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to know your judge, and you have to know your county. You have to know the rules. So it's wise. It will be wise for you to give a call to, or maybe to a clerk, chancellor. I'm sorry, clerk. It's been a long day. To ask, or chancery court administrator, to ask how the specific judge does his hearing or her hearing, temporary hearing, and it might be helpful to speak with a clerk and ask where you file your documents. Right? You can ask, well, what do I need to expect? What do I need to do so that when you come to court, you are well prepared? Okay, like I said, main thing is to have your 805 ready. For example, in Jackson County, we have temporary hearings here, and we have a family master who does them. So it's not an official judge, it's a family master, right? And they basically they're really fast. And here in Harrison County, we have a chancellor who does temporary hearing, and it depends on the chancellor, again, depends on the judge. Sometimes they do it on the record, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have the whole, on the record hearing, like it's a trial for temporary in a contested divorce proceedings. So therefore, it's very different. Like I said, it's different. You have to contact a lawyer. You have to contact local rules, local court rules, and also speak with someone from court, some official person from court who can give you a little bit of direction. Main thing to have your 805 ready, and that's it. That's what you need to have for your form 805 for your temporary hearing in Mississippi in a divorce, temporary and final. Okay, next slide. What is a temporary hearing? Okay, let's speak about it a little bit. Why do we have a temporary hearing? Like I said, it's in a contested divorce. A party might ask for a temporary relief before a divorce matter is fully litigated. So you have to ask for it, of course. You have to file a motion for temporary relief. No one is just going to say, "Hey, come in. We're going to have a temporary hearing now on your, on your complaint that you file." It doesn't happen. You have to ask for a temporary relief. Temporary relief is reasonable. To ask for a temporary relief is reasonable under certain circumstances. For example, you have kids, one kid or several kids, and you're asking the court for a temporary child support, and also to adjudicate who will have a legal and physical custody over minor children before this matter is fully litigated, because it can be a year, it can be two, hopefully not more than two. Okay, so like I said, issues such as temporary child support, temporary use and possession of the marital home, personal belongings, and vehicle. Who will pay for what? Who will stay in the marital home? Who will pay for mortgage? Who will pay for taxes, insurance? While this matter is fully litigated, temporary alimony also is on the table if it's appropriate under circumstances. What is Form 805? Financial disclosure, statement of assets and liabilities. So Form 805 is very important because that's how judges they decide who gets what on a temporary basis before this matter gets resolved. Okay, so we have Rule 805 of Chancery Court Rules, local court rules, which states, unless excused by the court for a good cause shown, each party in every domestic case involving economic issues and/or property division shall provide the opposite party or counsel if known the following disclosure. And let's go through disclosure. A detailed written statement of actual income and expenses and assets and liabilities, such statement to be on the forms attached here to as Exhibit A, copies of the preceding year's federal and state income tax returns in full as filed, a copies of W-2s if the return has not yet been filed, and a general statement of the providing party describing employment history and earnings from the inception of the marriage or from the date of divorce, whichever is applicable. Okay, so let's look at 805. So as you can see, 805 is something that you must do, right? If you go to court, it can be even not in the divorce proceeding. Anything that is related to kids also have to be supported by 805. Why? Because child support is at issue. Okay, so let's go to next slide. The party providing the required written statement shall immediately file a certificate of compliance with the chancery clerk for filing it in the court file. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to certify that every number, everything that you state on your 805, Form 805 is true and correct. And you have to file a certificate of compliance. And I'm going to show you later on how it looks like. You also can locate this 805, Form 805 on our website. It's www.okunievskylawfirm.com, and you can see it at the bottom of this page. Okay, so the disclosure shall be made by the plaintiff, and this is very important date, no later than the time that the defendant's answer is due, and by the defendant at the time that the defendant answer is due, but no later than 45 days from the date of the filing of the commencing pleadings. So you have 45 days after you file the pleadings. For example, if you file your temporary motion for relief or divorce complaint, you have 45 days to provide a copy of 805 to opposing party or opposing party's lawyer. Okay, you also have to file certificate with court. The court may extend the time upon written motion by parties. Okay, next slide. The failure to observe this rule without just cause, which without an excuse, shall constitute contempt of court for which the court shall impose appropriate sanctions and penalties. Let's say if you come to a temporary hearing without your 805, then you can be in trouble because there is actually penalties for not complying with this rule. Now, I just wanted to briefly mention Rule 806. Okay, Rule 806 must be in every temporary order. In all domestic cases involving custody or visitation of minors, each party shall keep the other informed of his or her full address, including state, city, street, house number, and telephone number, unless excused by the court in writing. Okay, so that's very important also to have Rule 806. If you have any kids, you're getting divorced, you have any kids, and you have any order, temporary order, such as temporary order or a final settlement or a divorce decree, Rule 805 must be in the paperwork. Okay, how to calculate gross monthly income, and we will, guys, get back to this one because first I would like to show you 805. And then we'll go back to this and I will explain how to calculate the number that you have to put in your 805. The main number is your gross income. A lot of, not just pro se litigants, I'm talking about lawyers, they make a huge mistakes here, or they let their clients completely fill out the form and they do not understand what they have to write, and some attorneys don't care, and it's unfortunate. But let's look at that first. Let's look at 805, and I will explain to you what I am talking about. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is Rule 805. Okay, see if I can. Oh, I just removed myself. Oh, sorry. There we go. Let's see if we can see better. Any chance we can see this form better? No, we cannot. Okay, never mind. Okay, so this is Rule 805, financial disclosure. So you can see the first page. You have to fill out your name, your address, your telephone number, date of birth, occupation, employer, employer's address, employer's telephone number. Next paragraph, you have to fill out name of the children and date of birth. Okay, so this is the first page. Let's go to the next page. And I'm not going to spend a long time on this one. Okay, so this is the most important. I'm just going to go through the most important things. Okay, so this is the most important things. Gross monthly income. And we're going to go to back to that previous slide, and I'm going to explain to you how to calculate that. Okay, because a lot of people don't know how to calculate that. Okay, so gross monthly income. So let's go to the previous slide. Okay, so how to calculate your gross monthly income? To arrive at a gross monthly income figure, if paid weekly, multiply weekly income by 4.3 if it's weekly, right? If you're getting paid weekly. If paid bi-weekly, multiply bi-weekly income by 2.16. Example, John makes at McDonald's $850 a week. So we take $850 multiplied by 4.3. And so now we're going to find out John's gross income. John's gross income, monthly gross income is $3,655. Okay. And this is the amount that John will have to put into here, right? Gross monthly income on top of the page. So after John puts that amount that I just said, $3,655 into his gross income, he will have to make any deductions from that, right? So he will have to look at his pay stubs and figure out how much he's paying out of his pay stubs. So Social Security, disability, unemployment insurance, public assistance, dividend and interest, also anything like that. So I'm sorry, this is not deductions. Okay, deductions next thing, right? So this is, he will have to put here gross income, but not just gross income. He'll have to put pension, retirement, Social Security if he's receiving any Social Security disability, right? Any Social Security income, rental income if there is any rental income that he's receiving, then that also you will have to put it as gross monthly income. Okay, it will have to be in there, guys. If you decide to hide your income in front of a judge, and then it came to lie that you actually was not truthful on your 805, it's going to look really bad. Okay, so now after you calculated your total monthly income, here the most important was to how to calculate your gross monthly income. Okay, and by the way, if it's bi-weekly, let's look at if you're getting paid bi-weekly, let's look at that. So if you're getting paid bi-weekly, okay, then for example, you're getting paid bi-weekly, so let's say it's $2,000, right, before any deductions. Then you have to multiply income by 2.16, right? And so that's how you come to your gross monthly income. Okay, next, itemized monthly deductions. What you will have to do is you will have to look at your pay stub and see how much money they are taking out. After all itemized monthly deductions, you will see your total monthly deductions right here. Then what you will have to do is you will have to subtract monthly deduction amount from your gross income, right? And then that's how you come to your net monthly pay. And you will have to put it right here. Next page, living expenses. Here you will have to put living expenses for yourself and children. Like I said, again, be accurate. Don't put some numbers that you don't have. If you don't know the exact numbers, put approximate numbers, right? You don't have to be very specific. You don't have to be very direct, but you have to be as detailed as you can be, right? So if you're getting some kind of income from the side, like let's say you do a yellow cab on the side at night, right? You cannot hide that income. Why? Because it will come to light that you are not being truthful, and it's not going to look good on you. So you have to be truthful and disclose everything. Living expenses. If you get any benefit from living expenses, then you have to also disclose it. If you get any benefit, like let's say your rent is $800, but you also get a discount from your rental, place, like let's say $100, then you'll have to be truthful, and you have to say either your income, your rent is, let's say if original rent is $800 and then you're getting discount $100, you cannot say your rent is $100 because your rent is $700. Or you can disclose that your rent is $800, but you get another income which is $100, right? So you have to be accurate. Make sure you disclose everything. Okay, so here we go. We are total living expenses, right? So you have to put here, after you calculated everything, you calculate your living expenses, then you come to the total number right here. And next, notes, loans, and anything else, right? Other expenses, you have to be truthful and write down how much loans you have, how much you're paying a month. And then at the bottom, you say, you see as a total installment payment, that's how much it would be. Okay, next, statement of assets, real estate. You have to put here, if you own any property, if there is a mortgage, how much money you're paying for mortgage, and you have to put who is on the title, so disclose all this information. Motor vehicle, the same thing, whose name is on the title, year, model, mileage, who paid cost, how cost paid, if there is a loan, if there is equity, you have to disclose it. Other personal property you can list here, such as TVs, computers, furniture, anything that you have inside your house. So that's other personal property. And you have to also put an approximate value. You don't have to be very direct about it, but more or less. Checking saving account, guys, be truthful about disclosure. That you have to name account, bank account, and account number. So be truthful about disclosure of your assets. Life insurance, also you have to disclose if there is a life insurance. And statement of liabilities. Here you can list your mortgages, car loans, credit cards, personal loans. You will have to disclose them over here. And like I said, at the bottom of the page, you see acknowledge of truthfulness. So you'll have to sign, like I said, that everything what you say in this statement is true and correct. And you're not misleading anybody, right? Misleading the court or anyone else. And this is certificate of compliance that you will have to file with court. There is you can see on this certificate of compliance, you can see there is a number of the case, and you will have to sign it. And your attorney, if you have a lawyer, the attorney will have to sign it for you also. So you'll have to put a date, so certified on this date, and your signature. And that's it, guys. So I hope that this can be somewhat helpful to you, because it can be very frustrating to litigate yourself, a case yourself in court, is being pro se. I mean, it's difficult for attorneys to do this, so I cannot imagine how you do it. The most important thing is that you cannot change anything, right? So you have to keep yourself calm. I know emotions running high. So you'll have to keep yourself calm and kind of, try to express yourself in a clear way, so that the judge can understand. If you, it's good for you to have notes, to have a diary, to have anything like that. That write things down. Don't just go to court without writing things down. Make sure you have a clear 805. Be truthful about disclosure. And well, I hope this video was helpful. And I'll make some more videos for you. So if you are interested in watching this again, you can go to YouTube, or it will be here stored on Facebook. Also, you can go to our website, www.okunievskylawfirm.com, and you can download your 805. 805 will be available on our website. So I hope you can fill it out truthfully and provide it to the court and be more ready to battle through this complex litigation. Well, thank you for watching me. And if you have any questions, you can also contact us on Facebook or contact us, visiting our website, booking a consultation. Again, my name is Natalia Porsche, and I am a managing attorney at Okunievsky Law Firm, PLLC. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.